How's it? And welcome to another JetOxygen presentation. Today we're featuring our what-if building block model. In particular, we are creating a scenario and investigating its impact on our business. If you want to follow along, we're using the JetOx Biker sample database and the 2016 data in the orders 2 cube. All links and info are provided in the last slide. Okay, let's get started. We've built a scenario that asks the question, what will the impact be next year if there's a 5% decrease in sales and a 10% increase in costs? Unfortunately, this is probably a conservative projection for next year. We've split the presentation into 4 sections: building the scenario, investigating its impact, identifying problems and outliers, and determining what to focus on. We've set up our scenario with a 5% reduction in sales and a 10% increase in costs. And using existing data as a proxy for next year, we're asking the question, what's the cumulative impact on gross profit? This is our monthly sales. The blue is our actuals and orange our scenario. The scenario is set up so sales tracks at 5% less than actuals. So by the end of the year, actuals are 63 million, while our scenario would only be 60 million. Ditto for costs. The scenario is tracking at 10% higher than actuals. So by the end of the year, actuals would be 42 million and our scenario would be 46 million. So the question is, what's the impact on our gross profit? The net effect is a whopping 34% reduction in gross profit. Actuals would be 21.6 million, while a scenario would only produce 14.3 million. That's a 7.3 million reduction. We'd have a third less profit for next year. Let's dig a little deeper into the profit shrinkage. Our what-if model clips into any cube that has a measures, date, and version dimension. We'll take a quick look at some of the analytics on these DIMs. We're using a performance gap to investigate the impact of our scenario. For the measures dimension, at the top level we can see COGS has increased by 4 million, sales decreased by 3 million, with gross profit shrinking at around a third, or around 7 million. For the date dimension, we can investigate the temporal impact on any of the date levels, quarterly, monthly, or within a quarter. And at the month level, the minimum change in profit is 33% and the maximum was 36%. For the version dimension, so most of the what-if model is based on comparing your scenario to a version like actuals, but we can even compare one or more scenarios. So for example, we've set up a worst case scenario, which has a decrease in sales of 10% and an increase in costs of 15%. And in the report below, we have the version, in this case actuals, as bars, and the two scenarios we're comparing as lines. So we're able to compare the results monthly. And by the end of the year, our worst case only produces 9 million in profit. This is an additional 5 million shrinkage and represents about a 60% loss in profit compared to actuals. Remember, this is only from a 10% decrease in sales and a 15% increase in costs. In addition to the core what-if dimensions, the orders 2 cube also has products, channels, customers, and years dimension. We call these cross dimensions and are able to drill into each of them to assess the impact. For the product dimension, at around 6 million, bikes make up the majority of lost profit. This is a 36% drop in profit, and it's slightly higher than the global average of 34%. For the channels dimension, online versus walk-ins is quite interesting. Online had only a 31% drop in profit versus 41% for walk-ins. That's a 10% difference in the sensitivity to our scenario. Online products may have a different cost profile than their bricks and mortar equivalents. For the customer dimension, the West has a 3 million drop in profit, which is about a 38% change. It's higher than the global average of 34%, so our scenario has the highest impact in the West in terms of dollars, but also the West is the most sensitive to the cost increase and sales decline. For the year dimension, 2013 had a 6.5 million drop in profit. That's a 40% decline. The mix of products bought and sold in 2013 is a lot more sensitive to our scenario. We can drill down into more detail within these cross dimensions. We're using customer here as an example. Its hierarchy consists of regions, then countries, then customers, and we'll investigate it top down. We've already seen the slide on the regions in the West. So within the West, the UK has the highest decline of 900,000, or around 40%. Close second is France at 800,000, but at a 46% decline, it is the most sensitive to changes in costs and sales from our scenario. Within the UK, Seats and Saddles has a 200,000 drop in profit at around 52%. It's the highest decline. Some UK customers have as much as 158% reduction in profit. So our WhatIf model is a great tool for identifying which elements are impacted by our scenario and the scale of that impact. We can go even further by doing a composition analysis. For example, we can look at the products sold to customers. We could ask the question, what products did Seat and Saddles buy that caused the 52% reduction? And we can see that Cross Silver 56 caused around a 50,000 reduction in profit, which is about a 60% change and accounts for half of their reduction in road bike profit. And continuing with our line of reasoning, we could ask the question, what's the impact of this product on other customers? So we flipped it by looking at the composition of customers by product. And we can see that the change in profit for this product differs substantially between the two UK customers. All things being equal, gross profit would decrease by 34% across the board. But as shown so far, there's significant variation or entropy in the profit shrinkage across the dimensions and their elements. We can look for outliers to help us identify which elements are most impacted in value terms and which have the highest sensitivity as a percentage change. In this example, there are a handful of customers with more than an 80,000 drop in profit and a handful of customers with more than a 70% drop in profit. Ditto for products, there are a handful of products with more than 150,000 drop and a handful of products with more than a 70% drop in profit. So far, we've identified which elements are most at risk from our scenario. But with so many products and customers, where do you start if you want to investigate more than just the outliers? If you want to target specific areas that will have the most influence on outcomes? Pareto, with its 80-20 rule, is a great way to sift the wheat from the chaff. In this slide, we're using a Pareto drill down to see which customers have the highest impact. Starting from the regions, the West at 45% of the total has the highest decline. Within the West, the UK makes up 20% of the total. UK, France, and Germany combined to make up 70% of the total. Within the UK, the top 10, which is about a third of UK customers, make up 83% of the decline in profit. Then within all customers, the top 440, or 20%, account for 75% of the profit shrinkage. Another way of putting this is the remaining 1,750 customers only make up 25% of the decline. Ditto for products. We'll use a Pareto drill down to see which ones have the highest impact. We're using the product hierarchy that has category at the top, then subcategories and product, and we'll investigate it top down. So within the product categories, bikes account for 80% of the decline, and within bikes, road bikes account for 80% of the decline. And within road bikes, the top 10, or about a quarter, make up 64% of the decline. And within all products, the top 300, or 20%, make up 91% of the profit shrinkage. The remaining 1,200 products only account for 9% of the reduction. This was a quick walkthrough of some of the capabilities of our what-if building block model. We created a hypothetical scenario and tested what the impact would be across the business. What-if allows you to create a scenario, determine what elements in your business are at risk, what's the scale of the risk in terms of percentage change or dollar value, what are the outliers and problem areas, what elements fall within a risk range, and what to focus on to mitigate the risk. We hope you find this presentation useful. Our what-if model is available from our website at jedoxian.com. There's more info on the model on our website or from Jedox Marketplace. Thanks for watching.